Storylines are easy to find this week, especially with the bond between head coaches Will Muschamp and Kirby Smart. Both the sons of high school football coaches, both former Georgia defenders, and both served on the same staff a couple of times at Valdosta State and LSU. Now the head coaches at Georgia and South Carolina, and for the third time in their careers, the two friends will face off on opposite sidelines. At this point, it's not a new feeling for either coach to take on their former colleague, but both say it does make the week feel a little different.
It's never easy with Will because I got a lot of respect for him as a coach and a person, and our careers have paralleled a lot, and I think he does a tremendous job. I just got a lot of respect for the way he coaches and the way their team plays.
And at the end of the day, you know, they know us pretty well and we know them pretty well. There'll be a couple new wrinkles, whether it was game 2 or game 10. There's going to be some new wrinkles that you try and take advantage of based on a matchup, based on a situation.
Now, in both previous meetings between the two friends, it was Smart's team that got the win. Muschamp will look for his first victory over Smart today in Columbia. Now, Tim, they say teams take on the personality of their coach, and for these two programs, there's no doubt who they want to be on the field. Both coaches expect their team to be the tougher one today and every game for that matter.
Well, I know this is a football show, but I just have to share something with you that happened earlier this morning at Savannah's 7th annual Tunnel to Towers run. Our largest turnout yet, more than 2,000 runners, making Savannah the largest of more than 60 national Tunnel to Towers races outside New York City. Tunnel to Towers honors the final heroic steps of firefighter Stephen Siller, who ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to the World Trade Center and was among 343 firefighters who perished when those buildings collapsed. The foundation that honors all 9/11 victims and offers financial support to first responders and military was here again this morning. Tunnel to Towers CEO Frank Siller came to Savannah and made a presentation to the widow and young daughter of Sergeant Christopher Solis, the Hunter Ranger who was killed in action in Afghanistan in July. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation provided a mortgage-free home to their family.
I think as Americans we have to make it like a contract with our first responders, police officers, firefighters, and our military. And the contract should be is if you go protect our communities or protect our country and something happens to you, we're going to take care of your young family.
Just a remarkable organization, and once again, a great morning at Savannah's Tunnel to Towers run.
Yeah, just look at the upper deck on the other side over there. Why? Because back in 1983, it was relatively new. The crowd was so crazy, that thing started swaying back and forth, and that's when Joe Morrison came up with the saying, if it ain't swaying, we ain't playing. Once again, that came against Southern Cal. Now, we've had plenty of local guys play at South Carolina and at Georgia. We went out and talked to a few of the local Bulldogs from the Savannah area about how tough it is to play here.
That's truly one of the memorable experiences. You know, when they play that Space Odyssey, when they come out on the field, place is very intimidating place to play. You know, it's a big rivalry for both schools, and I tell you what, it's some of the best memories I had in my playing days at Georgia was playing in that stadium.
They turn the air conditioner off when you walk into that stadium. It's definitely one of the hottest stadiums I've played in. It's a tough crowd. I've never really heard any complaints about the fans being obnoxious, but they love their Gamecocks there. And going into that stadium, you know it's not going to be an easy game.
All right, Mallard was on the losing end of one of the biggest upsets in the history of this game. In 2000, the Gamecocks beat number 4 Georgia, ending a 2-year South Carolina drought in the SEC. Quincy Carter picked off 5 times in that game. I hope this game doesn't have that kind of feel to it. At least Bulldog fans are hoping that. WTOC once again live at Williams-Brice Stadium.
All right, and these South Carolina fans are coming in all types. This is Caroline. South Carolina fan through and through.
At Williams-Brice Stadium, you see players on the field warming up. Number 3, Georgia. Number 24, South Carolina at 3:30 right here on WTOC. You know, Jake, one thing we didn't talk about is that beautiful-looking field is brand new.
Yeah, and I'm sure no one is happier about that than Will Muschamp after all the questions he got leading up to last week's opener over Coastal Carolina. Of course, South Carolina had to replace that entire turf in just about a week after a Jay-Z and Beyonce concert at the stadium a week before their first game. Yeah. A lot of questions last week didn't seem to cause any problems, and the folks at Carolina very happy that they can now focus on the play on the field and not just the field itself.
Well, it's all coming up right here in WTOC at 3:30. Number 3, Georgia. Number 24, South Carolina. Stay right here for the SEC Game of the Week.